Good morning. This is Shana Misako reporting from Switzerland. It's September, excuse me, I'm sorry, it's actually October 16th, 2017. Really having a problem with dates and keeping things straight. This is to one who is in contact with Prime Creator from the Neotech-GV channel. I cancel my contract and all debt and obligations. I was, I am, and I will be a divine and sovereign soul. With sovereign, I'm going to replace that with supreme soul. In the name of all ascended beings and souls of light, I decree and command to cancel and nullify all my past, present, and future contracts, debts, obligations, agreements made between any party of my being and the dark forces. All the contracts and agreements and all other consequences are now completely erased from my reality, and I am now free. All the karma of my multidimensional being is now erased as well. I am a free, supreme beings of light from now until eternity. I call upon the power of Ho'oponopono from all these past, present, and future lifetimes. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. I send to all dimensions infinite and eternal love, compassion, harmony, and peace to the crystalline consciousness of divine loving light. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Small True Lies, Monday, the 16th of October, 2017, and it is 11:10 in the morning. And it's the 23rd of November, 2018. I wanted to share this bit of findings after putting that series of nanotechnology, nervous system, how to avoid exacerbating nanotechnology or nanosaturation levels, and then putting that together with connecting the food supply to nanotechnology using Tony Pantelleresco's comment.
Right off the bat, I was thinking about something last night. We're all getting, a lot of us are getting the voice-to-head technology hit, right? We're getting voices in our heads, and we're getting frequencies popped in, music popping in, and so forth and so on. And some of the things that are getting popped into your head as a targeted individual or just somebody that just they're experimenting on can be frightening, can be damn frightening, can be nerve-wracking, can be earth-shaking, it can rattle you. Now, when that happens, start saying, what don't kill you makes me stronger. What doesn't kill me makes me stronger. Or go one more. I'm just getting stronger and stronger. I am just getting stronger and stronger. And I'll tell you why I'm saying that. Because if they're putting out that much effort to cause that kind of problems, try to rattle your head, try to rattle your resolve, try to shake your confidence, to move you, to cause doubt, cause anxiety, cause stress, to cause traumatic thoughts that just basically deactivate you or shut you down, then that means you offer some kind of significant threat to them. Okay? You, for some reason, are a threat. Every time they hit you, start saying, I'm just getting stronger and stronger.
It had me thinking about the external environment that may be considered very common. So what I've done here is I've created a video of all the places I've lived, and to begin with, I grew up in San Fernando Valley in Southern California, and my mother worked at Studio City. And Studio City happens to be on the north side of the Hollywood Hills. And in this valley, it's what's considered the porn capital of the world back in the 70s. And so there's 66% of what California, or I should say the pornography production accounted for, mostly came from California. And then there's also the larger area of where it came from globally. So the other part here happens to be on the Hollywood Hills. There's the Getty Museum, and there is a lot of information out there about what's under the Getty Museum. Now, let's see. Hollywood happens to be very popular. There were these recent fires on the Hollywood Hills, and just behind the Hollywood sign is San Fernando Valley, and there's a tower. The interesting thing about this area is violence was very normal. Very normal. Neighbors are getting spanked left and right. Lots of domestic violence, and it appears to be related to these towers. Now, let's see. I lived there from 1971 to 1980, and in 1980 to 1993, my family left the Hawaiian Islands left Los Angeles to go to Waianae. Now, Waianae is has the largest Hawaiian population. Let's see. And a big part of growing up in Waianae in the 70s and the 80s, it's like the most violent area people could find themselves. But that was where the affordable properties were, and it's actually all the crown lands. So these antennas, which are part of a naval base, they have always been there and were installed in 1972. When I arrived in 1980, I of course saw that, and that was just part of the backdrop. The interesting thing about being in a valley is that when there are these towers, it sends out the frequencies. Now, these are very low frequency towers, and the amount of violence that's there in Waianae, I believe it's caused because of this. High violence for domestic violence, a lot of drunkenness. There's a lot of sex offenders. Now, after I graduated from high school and my father passed away, I moved to San Francisco. And let's see, there's this enormous tower there, and there were three options that I could have gone to. I could have gone back to New York, which I'd spent my first year in college in, or I was going to go to Denver. But what I ended up doing was going to San Francisco. So there in San Francisco, you could say I pretty much spent most of my adult life. there in San Francisco, and let's see, it's one of those places where it wouldn't seem it, but I nearly had my back broken there in an assault. It's pretty violent situations that I found myself in. Now, for whatever reason, in January 2010, I decided to take my son and we were going to move back to the Hawaiian Islands, and we happened to find ourselves in Aiea, which is up the hillside from Pearl Harbor. Now, Pearl Harbor has this enormous radar, which for the most part is there in Pearl Harbor. I had seen it a couple of times go out to sea, but it would just turn right back around and come back. So the interesting thing about this radar is my brother had reported when I spoke to him on the 11th of November, so just about 2 weeks ago, he was telling me that the frequencies coming out of that was telling him to kill himself. So there appears to be a suicide program. I have another contact who lives in Honolulu, and it's like if anybody on Oahu can see the radar, those radio waves are being passed to the viewer wherever they may be. So one contact was very low, very depressed. So in 2014, I basically moved to Ultimum Albus, and I hadn't realized that for the past 4 years, this was actually January of 2014 that I moved here, that I have been irradiated. I've been irradiated for the past 4+ years, and this would explain my underweight, my being underweight, but also the constant backaches and stiffness. It's like these antennas that I'm showing here in the video are of the pathway of just from where we're located, going through town to go to the post office, to go to the train station, to go to the grocery store, to do recycling. So it is through these, let's see, this is only a handful along the main path that I'm walking. And if I went up into the village more, or into the housing area just to take a different route to see where the antennas are, and I did do that this morning, I did find more antennas. There's the antennas are in very close proximity of each other. Wanted to report that over the past 2 nights, I had not been able to sleep very well. And last night in particular, or this whole week, had been pretty futile in terms of getting any work done, staying focused. And what I did discover on Friday was, let's see, a major antenna. And let's see, it's about 200 meters away from the apartment I'm in. I'm down in the basement now, and it's actually built so that it is a bunker. So I'm not below ground, but this space, which is being used for storage, is it has these enormous doors, orange doors, to it's basically for a nuclear fallout. This would be where to come, and I'm just sitting among all of the neighbors and stuff, empty boxes, empty luggage, empty luggage and other various bags of clothes that I've been meaning to make a donation with. Anyway, my partner and I had a good talk over dinner, and he says I've gone too far. He says that I've been too long left on my own, not socializing, not doing anything, meeting with anybody. And so he has a different standard from what I have been engaging with on the online community that we have all built together. So I should say the date. It's the 9th day of the 11th month, 2018. And I came downstairs mainly because the ELF, the extremely low frequencies, have just been slicing through my whole body.
Testing. Okay. This is Smo Love True here. It's the 7th of February 2019, and it's 12:06 in the afternoon. Let's see, I had, this is one of those requests, not that others have requested. This is my request to the community. Let's see. For housekeeping, then we'll get to the updates. I'm in a situation where I have, I need to leave and go back home. You are so right on in terms of the dates, because this week, just sort of working towards, I'm like 6 hours ahead of where you are, which is
right.
But it's I've had a couple of days where I was just so hyper productive. And
Indeed.
it has a lot to do, tomorrow the Pope is going to be in Geneva.
Okay. Okay. This is like big. That is huge.
You just have to follow
Huge.
where the hell is the Pope, and
Right. It parallels so many things.
Yes.
Like when I first I left the Beast system in 2015 in September.
Okay.
It was the 24th. There was a huge, like, big solar or lunar eclipse or something going on. And I was going to go to Shasta. So I got in my car and I was going to drive west, and I got to the George Washington Bridge in New York, and the Pope was at the UN and it was all blocked. So I ended up taking some kind of portal, no toll booths, nothing, directly to Atlanta. And I was in Atlanta by that night.
Oh my God.
By the following night, I was like in Atlanta from Boston. So that's like crazy. It's like a two-day drive at least. And somehow I ended up like, well, I can't go west because the portal's blocked because the freaking Pope has to be at the UN right now. And this weekend he's at in Geneva, which is huge. That is awesome. Well, I was going to tell you, if I'd had the presence of mind, or could send a freaking email to invite some people. Maybe the next one we can do on the full moon. That's the 28th.
Okay.
And this is huge, okay, because it's at 6 degrees Capricorn. It's the full moon. That's my ascendant. My ascendant is 6 degrees Capricorn. Okay,
we gotta hear
something is fucking up. Well, it already happened. It happened yesterday. So what needed to happen for me to feel like, okay, this is working out and I know what I'm going to do, it happened yesterday.
Oh my goodness.
And I can't go into specifics yet because I always forget that this is going, like, I listened to that other video and I'm like, oh my God, this was going like to the fucking, remember Will Wide Web? Wow, wow, wow. Oh shit, I forgot.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can make that private.
No, please. I mean, it's helped other people. That's what's cool.
If anybody knew the living conditions or the treatment that I was being subjected to, it would not be acceptable. And so this viewer, with whom I'm currently with, I have been, removed from that situation. And I'm speaking in the singular sense. Well, I don't mean to make it sound so melodramatic, but a big part of taking care of autism, because it's with autism that the answers are. It's the children with the autism who are being affected. It's to protect the children with autism.
Thank you. There's the grounding here. Oh, thank you, Liam. Thank you. Oh, fine. Oh, oh. Liam. It's Liam. What you doing? Let's take a good move over here. There we go. There you go. Oh, wrestling bear, auntie. Is the wrestling bear? Make sure we're in there. Here you go. Here you go. There we go. There we go. Oh, it's breakfast time.
Anyway, when I'm working on the computer, I just stick the the penny up in my mouth, and because it's up on the gum line, that's actually the best way to get any mineral absorption directly into the bloodstream. So copper penny, just sort of. I don't talk too well with it in, but it really helps get the copper intake and deflect those frequencies. Regarding custom thumbnail, this is a message to the secret Zozo Empty Society operating from Pugman, Connecticut. How to climb out of consensual dark hole. Simple guide for accomplices holding down the fort for lost battle and cause. Battle, war, and cause. Roman numeral 1. Cease and desist all surveillance activity. Roman numeral 2. Cancel and delete all orders to trespass and interfere with targeted subjects. Roman numeral 3. Uninstall all weaponized vehicles. Roman numeral 4. Conscientiously dispose of all handheld devices. Roman numeral 5. When subject enters space, immediately abandon premises. Roman numeral 6. Avoid re-entering any and all crime scenes. Roman numeral 7. Do no harm. Roman numeral 8. Damage no property, real or movable. Roman numeral 9. Disobey orders for unlawful activities. They are AI programs on autopilot. Roman numeral 10. Ignore further engagement with controllers, order givers. Roman numeral 11. Return each and every compensation back to source. Roman numeral 12. Cancel all contracts with the dark forces. When approaching me, ask for permission and about how to cancel contracts. Otherwise, see 5 from above. Accepting all liability under full immunity without recourse. This is Small Love True. It's another upload day. I wanted to make this big announcement. It's regarding the grandmother and her family. The Small Love True channel is now dedicating all uploads to the grandmother, and whose grandson happens to have Saturn in his Ophiuchus. So this whole thing about what Chris Kaler had reported a couple of days ago for his August updates, it's related to this. Essentially, the grandmother has been targeted because she's a moon healer. She's a healer with the moon and receiving inner awareness. And It's in her ophiuchus to heal self and to heal others. If the grandmother is happy, then the grandmother can then, just by her being happy, it trickles down to everybody else. Not everybody needs to have the moon in their ophiuchus, but that's why it's important to look at targeted individuals and realize that what their astrology has, it's just a matter of keeping them happy. So that's why the Small Love True channel is now going to dedicate all uploads to the grandmother's happiness. And she had requested 2 videos be uploaded today. And so it is. And so it is. The grandmother's happiness, and so it is. Only healing frequencies shall be delivered and received by the grandmother. All other frequencies are to be returned to sender. Now, what Chris Kaler had mentioned about the reptilians owe the Draco's souls, we are way beyond the bankruptcy, being overdue, cleared for debt back in 1999. And this continues. I don't think so. I know it won't, because I own you, Satan's wives. I do. We actually all do. And with that, please enjoy the rest of the uploads, because the connections between what's in Connecticut and how it applies to the secret societies is quite astonishing, but not really. These secret societies have been keeping everybody under control just by targeting these certain individuals. And the moon being the closest satellite to where we happen to be, it is to look at those individuals who are probably targeted and to lend a hand. Okay?
It's like this vision or this image that my partner had seen, and it was that I stumbled along and fell and went down at a very low point, and then I got out of that. So that low point.
Small Love True here. It's Saturday, July 6th, 2019, and it's about 9:45 in the morning. Wanted to share some information just about a very interesting dream I had. So I had a dream that I was kind of in a carnival setting, but it was more of all the infrastructure being present, mainly attorneys and politicians. Just walking along, and it's like a geopolitical carnival with attorneys, carnival setting, not really with games and what have you, but new architecture. So I recall that I was walking along, and then my attorney, Laura Golden, had identified me, and she was like getting on me about money owed, and I'm like, I turned around to her and I said, I own you, so be quiet. And that in a nutshell is what I conveyed to her. I didn't say those exact words, but she was just, as I'm walking by. And as I walked further along, there was this new architectural building construction that was completed and was being unveiled. And it had, I had somehow gotten up into the top floor, this overlook that was part of the building. And I was just standing back, and there is the overlook people, there are people that were sitting with their legs over, like they're sitting on a cliff. Their legs are dangling, and they're holding on to the rail. And someone from the far left had stood up and walked away. And as I'm watching them walk away, over my right shoulder, there's Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi is kind of taking a look at the big view and seeing everything, and she sort of turns to me and says, "You're not going to go and sit down?" "Okay, well, I'm going to go and sit down." So she takes the seat that is available, or the space that's available, to hang her legs over the lookout. And then that part of the lookout, this platform lifts up, and it starts to take off very gently. It's like it's going to glide down into, go into another destination. I'm not sure. Anyway, I was standing there on the edge, back from it, and what I did was I gently ran and grabbed onto the edge. I grabbed onto the edge of this platform that was taking off, and I'm looking down. And as I'm looking down, my intention is to bring it down. So we're gently going down. And those who are sitting in the front of this platform, as well as Nancy Pelosi, they're saying, "What's happening? We're going down. Why is it going down?" And they can't see me because I'm hanging off of the back end of this platform that's like a magic carpet. And I'm just kind of seeing, where do I want to land down there? And I was like, oh, well, I'll just land here. So we don't go far. We're just kind of going a little bit off to the right, left, and then we make a big swoop. And as we're swooping over to the right, we're slowly going down, and it's a hillside that we're riding along. And I bring this architectural structure platform down to the ground, and it can't get up again. And I let go, and it lands very gently, and I continue walking along, doing my own thing.
Hi, it's Small of True here. Let's see. Oops. I just wanted to give a little update. I'm on the road, and let's see, happen to be traveling west, quite literally. Have some news where my mom passed away on July 2nd, and so I'm going to be attending her funeral service, memorial service. And let's see, it's a curious thing. I had a video that I uploaded, or actually I created, but I need to fix it because it'd be good to remove some names from there. And I'll upload that when I get to my destination. My stepdad, he's been taking care of everything, and I'm hoping to stay for a while, get to know him, spend some time with him.
Someplace else. Get out a picture there. Almost put it on while I was on the camera. Wouldn't that be lovely? Was Shane? I was checking to see if I had one. I forgot about walking around with this square. Octagon. Octagon Mom. The Octagon Mom.
Hi, this is Small of True. Let's see, I've got some bad news. Basically, it's the smart meters that took out my mom. It's basically a slow death. She'd gotten a smart TV, a Samsung TV, about 7 years ago, and the accumulative effects. She started to go downhill in 6 years ago, so a year after having the TV. My stepdad does not know when the smart meters were actually installed, so we don't know. Let's see. There was that I could see in the on the internet here in
town that there was some opposition from the community. However, there was still the forward movement of the smart meters, and Magda Havas had come to Iowa State to talk about the hazards of the smart meters. Let's see, and I recently shared that yesterday on a post on the YouTube channel. Now, let's see, it's been over a week now. I've been having some issues with my mercury fillings, and I have made an appointment to have them extracted. So that's upcoming this month. just behind the big bushy tree. That's where the relay tower is. There's an antenna there. Aside from corn, there's actually soybean that's grown here. These are soybean fields. The antenna seems to affect more of the what's happening to the corn, and so the cornfields are in closer proximity and direct line of the transmitter tower, which happens to be at the end of this road. We'll zoom in. That's the field where I saw the horses. There it is. I saw a little wave where the video seemed to be shaking, like when I was down in the basement at the toddler's house. So I wanted to try to capture that. I am feeling something passing through me, and I'm having an electrical buildup in my back. When I was half pressing down the button to take a photograph of this house, the optical was zooming in and out, or there was a slight wave to it again. This house appears to be abandoned. It's boarded up, 1606. So I'm just wondering if this might capture something. I'm actually feeling here, as I'm recording this, the meridians in my hands as well as in my back is building up an electrical charge. So I'm just going to do a little experiment, and I'm going to take my slippers off and stand on the concrete with my feet and let the car pass by, and see if this standing on the concrete is supposed to discharge. Concrete is made up mostly of sand. Sand is the basis for silicon. Silicon is it's a semiconductor,
So that's why they're used in a lot of electronics. Oops. Sort of let these cars pass by. Okay, the time, let's go up. And so doing cartwheels, walking barefoot on the sand is ideal. Oh, all of a sudden, there's all these cars passing by. Anyway, there is no relief right now at the, as I'm standing on the concrete barefoot. The electrical charge is still building up in this circuit that's built in my back, that's assembled in my back, and I'm feeling a lot of activation in my left meridian. Okay, I gotta get going. Left side is the side that receives, so cutting out.
essentially what I've learned, it goes back to August, it was the Saturday before I left Connecticut, and the grandmother had, had her grandson, so the toddler was with us. The toddler is very significant, just as the grandmother is very significant, and it is that the toddler happens to have Saturn in his Ophiuchus, and essentially he was present. What Saturn means is it's about structuring our lives. So having the toddler present the day that I received the message that my mother had passed away, and that her funeral was going to be happening that following Tuesday, was very significant. The toddler is only 2, so there's a lot of high demands, and in spite making plans and figuring out how to get from point A to point B, my whole thing was, I'm going to spend time with the toddler, and we're just going to, I just want to make him happy. This is, it's not the last time that I'm with him, but that he would be there on that last day of my leaving Connecticut is very significant. There are people in our lives for a reason, and a big part of that is when we know our astrology, then we can realize what are we contributing to a relationship. And that's why a lot of people can be hijacked just because of what's in their astrology. And the sooner we learn about our own astrology, we can put our, we can take sides and put our natural endowments for a cause that we can actually believe in and want to have forward. So, let's see. It's like I had mentioned in a post yesterday, is that, let's see, a lot of people have been making contact with me over the past year, and these are very special individuals. They're healers. They have planets in their Ophiuchus, and these are the very ones who let's see, if they're made miserable, then certain aspects of life and living become miserable.
Coco. Keeper. Oh hey, Avalena, oh hey. Amana berugeia Bogalimu omanu akeba Auhe amalena ohe Ekaua loku owaioni Amana berugeia Bogalimu omanu akeba Ehia kuikababa Hemau ia hepa heena Oluiga pumahiki Iga ehugai o makahoa Ehia kuikababa Hemau ia he pahe nae Polui ka pumaiki Ika e hukai o makahoa Ahe hoa no e no ula Ika velele uo ka anoi Ahaina mai ka hinoa Ka piola ni ka iu o luna Ahe hoa no e no ula Ika velele uo ka anoi Ahaina mai ka hinoa Ka piola ni ka iu o luna
And then when I was stationed over there in Hawaii and met Loretta, and she would tell me some of these stories about Menahunis and Pele and all these, and I'm thinking, all right. So I started reading books on this stuff, the legends and the lore, and it got to, hey, this is interesting. I just kept reading and reading.
Wow.
And that's one of the reasons your mother would donate to all these services. Disabled American veterans and Red Cross and stuff like that, to the point where she gets 7 or 8 letters a day asking for donations, and I would tell her, no, you need to slack off. Because if she had one at the casino, she would take a certain percentage that she would donate to these people. And she would sit there and, no, I got to do it. I got it. I said, why do you have to do it? And she goes, Pele may be one of them. Because the legend had it that Pele would come down at night or during the day, whenever it was, and take the form of a beggar. And anybody that would give alms to that beggar would get rewarded in the afterlife. See, you didn't even know that, did you?
Well, I didn't think I got it right here now.
Regarding documents for public recording. Dear partner, I am honored to have experienced Switzerland under your care and presence. You are the perfect man, and no properly programmed woman would have left your side, ever. It is my express wish, with good intentions, that you enjoy life and living on your own choosing, which holds many possibilities in coming years. Our marriage with the state of California was not meant to last once I started the copper therapy. I am deleting online accounts by the harvest full moon, September 14th, 2019. To thoroughly cancel and delete my connection to Switzerland, it is necessary for me to also remove our connection. I do not plan on returning to the Hawaiian Islands nor to California. If we meet again, it may be accidental and may not be inceptional. There may be a reason why none of my YouTube videos were suggested on mine, considering they are not the sort of content the Swiss finds entertaining. With my express wishes, I hope this follow-up letter to the marital union dissolution does our relationship justice. You are the best of all men.
This is going to be 44 years old. Name my crazy idea.
Hey, that's your number, isn't it, Mom? We're in the right lane.
1944. Yeah, me and my crazy idea. I always look for 12, 28, 44. Amanda, I said 12, that's my name. 12, 28, 44.
That's your birthday.
Yeah.
December 28th.
Yeah. December.
1944.
Oh, yeah. And I better give you my $20 because you're very good. No, I gave it to you. I want you to have it. And you says, yes, Mom. Thank you, Mom. Oh, you have to do that. But I give everybody, $20, but then I want to give it to you because you're my girl.
You gave me, Mom, that is more than $20. Life. You gave me life. That's a lot. I give to everybody.
No, but
they gave me life.
yeah, but like everybody, my brothers, my sisters, I gave them. So now you get $20, okay?
I think you did actually. You did, Mom. You gave me $20, or you actually gave me more than $20.
Oh,
Because what you did, remember?
You don't want any money? Oh gosh.
Went shopping. And we got cakes, raspberries,
No, but you really helped all around this place.
What do you mean? It's just driving. That's all.
Oh, okay.
It's just driving.
Yeah, but I like giving people, okay? So when I go over there, I'll give it to you, okay?
Let me think about it.
See, my girl, I love you. Oh, my girl, very good girl, very good girl.
You only have good children, Mom.
Children? Yeah, I got 4 boys, 1 girl.
We all turned out good. Did you notice that?
Oh, yeah?
We're like, oh, really?
But now that I'm an old person, I want to, see them, all my kids.
Now the grandchildren, actually.
Yeah. Hi, this is Small Love True. It's September 2nd. September 2nd, 2019, and it's about 9:30 in the morning. Star watch. Today is actually Mars conjunct the Sun. So Mars is, I'm sorry to be jumping all over the place. I am my mother's daughter. My mother's a healer.
and she has Mercury and Mars in her Ophiuchus. I do not have any planets in my Ophiuchus, so would I be considered a healer? I'm still learning this myself. Mars is just outside of Ophiuchus, and that's where I had put out those with in their natal chart that happen to see that they are planets just outside of Ophiuchus. They're assisting, or they're the healers to the healers. They heal the healers. What I'm finding is I'm more of an executor. I execute. And let's see. It's the victorious barrier remover is kind of all the adjectives that I saw for Mars, and that's kind of the name that it's one of those names that I'd given myself, like Small Love True or Small True Lies. Anyway, the name of the channel's not going to change. I'm just going to leave it like that. But with that, I think it was yesterday I realized that I was brought to Switzerland for a purpose. And it was not only for training, it was, if I didn't survive, I would have been taken out, and that would have been the timeline. So it's like Tony P's work, it's the foundation of what kept me alive to survive that, whatever it was that happened in November 2018. So, as I put this together, put the pieces together of my experiences in Switzerland and what I was witnessing, it's important to realize that the pharmaceutical grade production that's manufactured in Switzerland, it's at a picoscale. It's not at nanoscale. So the level of integration that the Swiss need to endure, or are made to endure, is 1,000 times stronger. The integration, this is where the Swiss are so loyal to their country. It's because of that picoscale. Anything that's 1,000 times smaller than nano, and it just rides on frequencies, it's going to look so normal, and it's through these frequencies that the programming is put out. This is where secrecy in Switzerland is, it's quite astonishing. So it is necessary for me to actually delete a lot of accounts that I have, because it was while I was in Switzerland that I need to cancel and close those accounts out. Like my Twitter account, I know I just put that up last video or so, and thank you for making contact with me. Let's see, for those who have, I'm going to need to wait till after the harvest moon and see what I can come up with. I will, however, not really be available.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try crawl over there, or even that other place too.
Okay, let's go then.
Yeah.
You lead the way and we will follow you.
Okay. Let's see what you have.
Yeah.
Te hui hui ngā manu e ka ko pai te wasa, ko au e tangi hano i te moana, ko sione kuanga lo i o kumata. Te
It would actually be to, there's actually a contact, a Hawaiian contact, and he said the infrastructure is already here. We just need to be put in the driver's seat. So this is a line that actually comes to me, and the infrastructure for healing is already here. We just need to get into the driver's seat, to influence those who are in place, to turn off the health hazardous frequencies, and to turn on the healing frequencies. And from what I'm seeing, it's the frequencies here are currently being turned up. Frequencies, radiation spectrum. It's for the data transfer and also for the updates, and they are scheduled between 2 and 4 in the morning. So that's actually the worst time to wake up because these are the maximum melatonin levels that are being produced. Yes. So I hope that helps where I'm coming from, and wanted to share that because it's important for people to take a look at their own environment and recognize that all the negative things that happened along the way, they were inflicted by this technology that we really, we really don't have a complete and thorough understanding of. I would say it would be best to work on shielding, because shielding is going to block these frequencies, or to go underground. And my best guess is just from seeing how Rothschilds are there, they are underground. They're shell on of a house on the lakeside. It's just a facade, and what's under the ground is really where the living space is. And having been in the basement, the cellar, it's actually a very peaceful place. So look into getting underground to to escape the frequency bombardment. Okay, well, I hope this finds all well. Enjoy your weekend. Smo out.